one of my favorite things to talk about. It is the history of Lake Tahoe. Here to tell us all about it is David Borges, chiropractor in town. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Now, you're chiropractor and Tahoe historian. I love your stories.
Oh, thank you very much. We've been working on them for a long time.
Yeah, it's fun to research, and it's kind of chasing different rabbits, if you will, when you discover something and then it leads to something else. It peels back another layer.
It does.
We're talking about the Taluk Historic Estate today, the site, the entire site, correct?
Mm-hmm.
With Lucky Baldwin. Why was he named Lucky?
Lucky Baldwin is a name you hear frequently around the area. He was lucky in that he was the reason that story came about, he bought some Virginia City mining stock. And he went on a trip and he told his stockbroker to sell the stock if it hit a certain height. And it did. But he was on vacation and he had the key to the trunk where the stock was in, so he couldn't sell it. The stockbroker couldn't sell it. So when Lucky Baldwin came back about a month later, the stock hit big, real big. It went where he became a multimillionaire by the error of not selling that stock too soon.
All because of a key not being in the right place.
It was in his pocket while I was on vacation. And they started to call him Lucky after that. But then he had
being in the right place.
and he was an entrepreneur. And he did a lot of things. He was in this Virginia City mines. He had hotels in San Francisco. And he had hotels up here in Tahoe. And that's where our story comes in. He had what was called the Taluk Hotel. It's the Taluk House in the Taluk Hotel. And it was one of the most luxurious hotels on the lake. There were several hotels in the early 1900s. Taluk Hotel was supposed to be the Sarasota of the West.
The Sarasota of the West. Does that mean there's a Sarasota of the East?
It does, and it took me a while to figure out what the Sarasota of the East was in Sarasota Springs. And there's 5 springs, mineral springs that you can drink from there. And it was one of the largest 1,000-room hotels, luxury hotels on the East Coast, where all the rich and famous went.
So he wanted this one to be the Sarasota of the West.
Of the West.
The Taluk House.
And he did. He had all kinds of things. He had billiard rooms. He had dance halls. He had tennis courts, polo courts, all kinds of things, horse riding. He did all the kinds of things you can do. And he was using Glen Alpine Springs, which has its own water springs, as part of that Sarasota Springs Taluk House. And a lot of people would go from Fallen Leaf Lake to the edge of the lake. That's where the Baldwin House was, or the Taluk House. And you can still go there now to the Taluk Estate. And it doesn't have the hotel there. It has his granddaughter's house, and that's now a museum.
Where is the Taluk? There's the Taluk House, the hotel. Where that's
gone.
It's gone.
That's gone. That was demolished after 1909, when Lucky Baldwin passed away. Anita Baldwin, his daughter, let the hotel go on for a little bit longer. But she didn't want to have any commercial enterprises on the lake shore. It was a big hotel. They had a lot of things, a lot of issues. And so they tore it down. And by 1920, the granddaughter, Dextra Baldwin McGonigal, has a house there now. And it's a U-shaped house. That's where the museum is if you go to the Taluk site right now. And it's a gorgeous museum. That was the granddaughter's house.
Wow. Oh, to be alive during that time.
Oh, it was amazing.
Like I imagine myself stepping back in time and having been through these estates. It's just absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It's always great having you in the studio telling us more about Tahoe history. Come back and let's chat again soon.
Sounds great.
All right. David Borges, chiropractor here in South Lake Tahoe, and obviously a fantastic Tahoe historian. So thank you very much for being with us. We have more Tahoe Tonight coming your way right after this.